So number one goal is to connect and connect across borders and across ideas. And it's so empowering for me, having done this since the very beginning, to see new people and having our wonderful group of young people here makes a big difference. So I hope to see all of you in July in DC, even though I may not be there. That'll be tricky, won't it? So today, this morning, we have a real treat for you because we have a local farmer that's going to be presenting the connection of organic farming and climate solutions. Kate Mendenhall has lived here all her life. She loves rural America. She lived in New York for 10 years doing schooling, went to school in Bowdoin, Maine, spent 10 years in Rochester. She has 2 kids, 9 and 11. So she's a soccer mom. And I don't know if she plays herself, but I want to welcome Kate, and we will have time afterwards for questions. So keep your questions and have a rich discussion. Kate, welcome.
Can you hear me okay in the back?
Yeah, that's great.
Great, well, thank you so much for having me today. I do have an organic farm locally right here in Okoboji. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and then I also am the executive director for a national organization called the Organic Farmers Association. So I'm also going to talk a little bit about how organic is a solution for climate change, and then some of the policy positions that we're working for towards the Farm Bill. So my farm is called Okoboji Organics, and my husband and I purchased the farm in 2016, or the land for the farm, but it's really primarily run by myself. My husband doesn't know anything about farming, but he can do a few farm chores. And my dad, who's here today, retired into the work of farmhand, so he is a key member of the farm team, and I really appreciate all the help that he provides. We transitioned the farm in 2016, right when we purchased it. We put it into cover crops, and then became certified organic in 2019. The farm is situated right in the middle of this really important watershed. Mm-hmm. So you can see Big Spirit on the top, East Lake wraps around, West Lake, which is the lake right out here, and then Center Lake is that little one in the middle, and where that heart is, that's my farm. So it's right in the middle of the watershed. It's an important place to be practicing good agricultural practices. The farm watershed moves north right into Center Lake, and then the watershed from Center Lake moves west into West Lake Okoboji. So before I purchased the farm, it had been 20 years as a sod farm, so really intensively managed. It takes a lot of inputs to raise that sod that you're harvesting every year, and then after it was a sod farm, it was in conventional corn and soybeans. So it's a small farm. It's 18.5 acres, which in the middle of the Midwest feels like a small farm, but when I talk to my friends in the Northeast, they're like, oh, it's actually a lot of land to be managing. So it's all relative. I think I'm lost here for a second. So we practice diverse livestock rotational grazing. We put the land all into perennial pasture, and we work with the Natural Resource Conservation Service to do that. And they were super helpful getting a good pasture plan together for us, and a very diverse pasture that is serving both my animals, but also the land and then native wildlife. So we raise organic pastured pigs, turkeys, and chickens, meat birds, and then we also have layered hens, which were an impulse buy from the local farm store. So they're not certified organic, but they're managed organically. And it's seasonal. So we have pigs from early mid-May until we take them to the butcher next week. And the meat birds and turkeys come from like mid-April until mid-September. So in the winter, I focus on my other livestock, which are my children and the other work that I do. And it's small and designed so that I can manage it with just, a little bit of outside help myself, and also so that I can do the other type of activist work that I also like to do in organizing. So here's a picture of our turkeys once they get big enough so that they're less at risk of being eaten by predators. They have like full range of the farm, so they can really go like anywhere within the 18.5 acres. And it kind of depends on the personality of the flock, how far they venture off. But you can see that they have a lot of space, and then the pigs get moved twice a week to new pasture, and they really do a lot of grazing. So you can see them here. This is probably in a new paddock, and they're really excited to eat all of their favorite alfalfa and clover. Pigs are not ruminants. They have just one stomach like us, so they can't survive just on pasture. So we also feed them feed that has corn and soybeans and a lot of small grains in that feed mix as well. That's from a woman-owned feed mill just east of us near Fort Dodge, Iowa, and she buys from a lot of local Iowa grain farmers. There's no need for me to raise grain. We have plenty of that growing in Iowa. So I like to focus on the pasture, and our pasture mix is really diverse. So we have quite a few plants that are included in our pasture mix for the pigs. We have some high tannin plants like plantain, sainfoin, and the chicory. That helps with their internal pesticide load. And naturally, but then we also have clover and alfalfa, which they love to eat, but we also have a lot of natural and native grasses. And you can see a ton of wildlife in the farm as well. We have a lot of birds, we have a lot of snakes and amphibians and little rodents. We have groundhogs and moles and moles, all of them.
Coyotes?
There are coyotes in the area, but we have a pretty good woven wire fence, so knock on wood, I've never seen them in my farm or had evidence of them, but we do have plenty of skunks, mink, weasels. So we do use for the small birds an electric woven wire to keep them protected from those animals, and then we get a lot of predator pressure from hawks and owls as well. So that's what I have on the farm, and we'll have time at the end also to answer questions. But I left my work in New York State, where I was the executive director of the Northeast Organic Farming Association there, and working full time with the dream of becoming a farmer. And I watched all these young folks come out of New York City and start small farms, and part of our work was helping them become successful farmers. But my dream was always to be a farm and to be a farmer in Iowa. And so I kept watching all these city kids become farmers. And finally I was like, well, all these city kids can do it, surely this Iowa girl can figure it out. So I moved back to Iowa and we started looking for our own farmland. But a farmer in New York before I left said, hey, like, I'm excited for you to start your farming journey, but you have a lot of skills in organizing, and that's really hard to come by, like, stick with that. So that kind of stuck with me, and when the opportunity to help found this national organization called Organic Farmers Association to represent farmers, the voices of farmers in Washington, D.C., that really spoke to me. And so this is an organization that was started in 2017. I've been helping them like explore if this was something that farmers wanted nationally, and farmers said yes. So before this, other organizations were speaking for farmers, but it didn't always resonate with what the farmers were actually feeling. And so Organic Farmers Association is built by farmers. It's only organic farmers have a vote on our policy priorities, and only organic farmers have a vote on our leadership committees. And so it truly is representing farmers in Washington, D.C., in national spaces of conversation and media. And it's like all sorts of farmers. Organic is not just one commodity group. So we represent dairy farmers, grain farmers, vegetable farmers, fruit farmers. It's really fun because I'm always learning about all sorts of different kinds of agriculture and different regions to farm, but at the heart of it, even though farmers come from such different markets in this very diverse country, they're all really working for healthy soil, healthy food, healthy communities. And so we're able to find a lot of unifying priorities. And one of the things that has been at the top of our organic farmer priority list for the last few years is climate change. Farmers are watching their planting dates and their harvest dates, and they're seeing change. They're watching the practices around them, and they're experiencing more and more extreme weather events. So climate change is definitely something that's important to farmers, and they're also seeing different pest pressure and disease pressure than they have before. So they're seeing ways that they're going to have to adapt, and where like new research is needed in order to support them. And they're also seeing, I think, areas where their organic farm management has benefited their farm in contrast to some of their neighbors using conventional methods. So organic farming, as you may know, reduces greenhouse gases. Has a much lower carbon footprint. It doesn't rely on the same fossil fuel use that conventional farms do. It doesn't include any of the fossil fuel based fertilizers, and it prohibits most synthetic pesticides. So just by eliminating synthetic nitrogen fertilizers, we could lower direct global greenhouse gases by 20%. There's a great side-by-side study that the Rodale Institute in Pennsylvania has done. It's the longest side-by-side conventional side-by-organic management study that's been done in the country. It's now over 40 years old, and they have shown that organic farms use 45% less energy than conventional farms, even though organic farms do use some tillage, and typically more like conservation tillage. But when you look at the actual like full energy use, they're using quite a bit less fossil fuels. And also, organic farms don't use fumigant pesticides. They're responsible for emitting a nitrous oxide, N2O. It's one of the most potent greenhouse gases. So organic management also improves soil carbon sequestration. Organic or soil health is the foundation of organic agriculture. Organic practices and organic agriculture is the original regenerative agriculture. We were regenerative before that word was trendy. And organic methods are all about, like, we really rely on high soil health. So it's creating stable soil carbon, reducing N2O emissions. Pesticide use is associated with damage to soil invertebrates, and they're really important for holding on to that carbon and storing it. And then studies have shown that worldwide adoption of organic practices could actually absorb more carbon than the farming sector emits between the years 2020 to 2100 when you project that out. So helping more farms transition to organic management could really make a big impact on soil carbon sequestration and emissions. Organic agriculture also increases resilience. So healthy soils and the crops that grow in those healthy soils are better to adapt to climate changes. The practices that are embedded and required by organic certification are composting, crop rotation, crop diversity, cover crops. All of those practices improve soil health. That's why they're part of the organic package. Organic practices boost the soil's ability to retain water and soil nutrients. And it also, over time, improves water percolation by increasing that organic matter. So you can replenish the groundwater and help the crops to perform better. So again, that Rodale Institute side-by-side study has shown a real increase in drought years because of that increased soil capacity to hold water, that organic farms perform 40% better than conventional farms in times of drought. And then a few years ago, we saw, I think with the beginning of the Ukraine war, there was a real lack of chemical fertilizers available in this country. And so supply and sort of like global issues can really affect farm inputs. And so conventional farmers were looking for organic fertilizers during that time and buying a lot of chicken manure and hog manure and the sort of type of natural fertilizers because this global shortage. So by focusing on what kind of fertilizers we can produce here locally and locally around our communities can also help. So knowing all this, our farmers want to support more farmers transitioning and adopting organic practices. Even if a conventional farmer decides like organic isn't for them, it's a really big management spend. And the market, the system is different and it's still small in a market sense compared to conventional. So it's a big shift, but adopting more organic practices can still return some of these good benefits to your conventional farm system. And it could take a generation of adopting more and more practices until a farm decides that they want to actually transition and use that market. But I love certified or organic market as a market-driven solution and incentive for farmers to use these practices because it's required by certification and they're rewarded in the market. So Organic Farmers Association is working on the Farm Bill. We've been working on it since 2021. The 2023 Farm Bill is now quite delayed and it's looking like it's going to be extended into 2025. But we're still working on these priorities and it's, the delay has given us opportunity to continue to put forward marker bills as solutions come together and challenges arise. So still working on it. We do have a Farm Bill marker or Farm Bill marker bill tracker. So marker bills are all the little small bills that go into this giant omnibus bill called the Farm Bill. And so as these bills that have been put together on different issues get embedded in, sometimes it's just a piece of the bill goes into the Farm Bill language, but that's what we're tracking. So climate conservation is one of our priorities, and the marker bill that we're supporting is called the Agricultural Resilience Act. It has both a Senate and a House version. And it centers organic as a solution to climate change, and it really supports the kind of practices that organic farmers use, but any conventional farmer could use to start to move into this trajectory of building better soil health and the soil structures to hold the carbon better. It also increases more funding for the Natural Resource Conservation Service, NRCS, and the EQIP program in particular.
What's EQIP?
It stands for the Environmental Quality Incentives Program. And it's one of the programs within the Natural Resource Conservation Service for farmers. It has an organic initiative within it that has a lower payment cap. And so this bill would rise that organic initiative payment cap to the same as the general one, because we're seeing a lot of organic farmers actually applying to the general pool of money because they're doing larger infrastructure changes that exceed the organic cap. And so that would allow us to keep those organic farmers into that prioritized level at the funding level that they need for their farms. And then it also expands the conservation stewardship program, which is not an organic program, but does support a lot of the practices used by organic farmers currently, but also again, helping farmers move along that trajectory by adopting more conservation-minded organic practices into their farms. There's also a bill called the Opportunities in Organic Act that would expand organic production. So right now, there's an existing program called the Organic Certification Cost Share Program, and it reimburses producers for their organic certification costs. For a small producer like me, it's quite expensive to certify my farm. And honestly, I don't really need to certify it because I talk to my consumers. I sell everything out of a little farm store in my barn, and my consumers can see what I'm doing. They can just walk out into my pasture if they come to visit the farm and see the animals and see, how they're being raised. But I really believe in the program, and I think it's important for farms like me to be a part of that program because then you have a voice into how it's directed, and keeping the high integrity of the organic program is really important. So the reimbursement levels haven't increased since 2008. We know all sorts of costs have increased in the last year, not to mention since 2008. So we're looking to increase that reimbursement scope so that it actually makes a big difference the cost of certification is a barrier, especially for small and beginning producers to decide to go through with that process. And then it also this bill provides a lot of other support for organic farmers, so technical assistance as a farm decides to consider transitioning to organic. There's a lot of different changes that I have to make on the farm, but also thinking about markets and like how to do it. Do I do the whole farm at once? Do I take pieces and transition slowly? It's really helpful to talk to another farmer through mentoring through that process or to have one-on-one technical assistance. Also the financial planning for that process. There's a lot of underserved farms that are not being served well by the US Department of Agriculture. They're working on it, but this would also provide more funds so that we're expanding the language of technical assistance provided and the type of outreach and hiring from people's communities in order to provide that technical assistance back so that where they're getting their services is someone who they can relate to culturally and in the same, language. So it would provide for a lot better services to farmers. And this bill is also, it has a Senate and a House version. So as we're bringing more and more farmers into organic, and we have had a huge influx of money from the USDA over the last 3 years towards this effort, it makes no sense to bring all these farmers along if we're not also working to expand the market. Because then it just lowers the return for all these farmers after they've invested time, money, and made that sort of mental shift. And so organic requires a lot of its own infrastructure because organic products cannot be commingled with conventional. So we have to rebuild a lot of the traditional infrastructure. Also, conventional agriculture has become so consolidated that a lot of the small infrastructure supply chain pieces have been dismantled. So we're having to rebuild a lot of that for this new system. And so the Organic Market Development Act supports a lot of that. It's currently a grant right now for that USDA funding that's helping farmers transition, but this would make it part of the Farm Bill. I have a farmer friend in Montana and he grows as part of his third crop. So if you're growing corn and soybeans, you have to have a third crop in organic, and finding a crop that makes you money is really a linchpin in a lot of farmers transitioning to organic. So alfalfa or oats is a pretty common third crop, but finding a marketable or a market that gives you a good financial return on that crop is a trick. So my friend Nate, who's a farmer in Montana, he grows alfalfa. It's very expensive to ship baled alfalfa out west to all those big dairy farmers that want it in California, but he got a grant to create an alfalfa pelletizer. So he's building a processing facility. He's going to be pelletizing from his farm and all of his neighbors' farm, and that's much more easy to ship on rail or a truck out west. So that's just one example, but there's lots of different kinds of market transitions that we need to support, as well as helping current processing facilities create an organic line. So we don't have to rebuild everything, but like help. Maybe they need a new storage to keep organic separate, or maybe they need just a little bit of funding to help bring on a person who's going to manage all the organic certification components of their process so they can expand their processing to support organic farmers as well.
Are those pellets, would those be used for feed for animals?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just and be lighter and more compact, so easy to ship.
Yeah. And then organic research. We always have an organic research component in every farm bill because organic research helps all farmers. A lot of you see so many conventional farmers now using cover crops, which is amazing. And a lot of that research in cover crops came from organic research funding. So there's lots of different practices that are supported through this research. We have a Senate and a House bill, different names in this case. As you go through this process, you'll learn people really love their acronyms, and so we couldn't get together on this one, but there's two very similar bills in the House and Senate, and increases just a lot of funding for different organic research opportunities. Also, Seeds and Breeds for the Future Act. As climate is changing and as consolidation in agriculture continues, we need to promote local varieties of seeds and breeds that work for farmers in this changing climate for their own regional land and climate requirements. And so continuing to support that type of research and breeding work is really important. So the Seeds and Breeds for the Future Act only has a Senate side, but is one we also support and farmers really need. And so Organic Farmers Association, we are representing these farmers' priorities. They're the ones who set these priorities for us in the marker bills that we work to either create or support. And then I have just some time for discussion and questions. We have about 15 minutes, so I can answer questions about the farm or about. Yeah, so we represent, there's 18,500 certified organic farms in this country. We have individual, about 600 paying farmer members, but we also have 30 organic producer farmer organization members. And so with those, it's like over 6,000 farmer members for their farmer members.
The question is about fraud. There's an organic farmer I know in Minnesota. Every time I see him, he complains to me about fraud.
Yeah.
Non-organic seeds being mixed with this. Is that a growing problem? Is it getting better? Is the certification cost a barrier to keeping these people from being more honest? Yeah, so we talk about fraud.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's definitely something that the organic community is battling. So especially when conventional commodity crop prices are low, it's a high incentive to get a few more bucks by selling it as organic. And also the organic market is so young. The organic program only started in 2001. And I have friends who are part of that original, those conversations, and they didn't at the time even account or dream that we would have organic imports in. So they didn't really build in the type of enforcement at points of entry that we need today. And so we're doing a lot of work on fraud, and the National Organic Program, which manages our USDA certified organic program nationally, they have, since the last Farm Bill, the 2018 Farm Bill, they've probably like quadrupled their staff. And they've formed alliances with Customs and Border Protection and APHIS. And so now all those folks at the points of entry, they know what organic is and that it is part of the USDA and that they're supposed to look for certain kinds of documentation. But it's a real incentive for people to cheat and to get a few more. So a few more dollars, which when you have a bulk shipment of bulk grain, that's billions of dollars. So we're doing a lot. We have a bill we're trying to get to be like finally introduced in the Senate. I have a senator who's holding on to that bill until we can get a co-sponsor, but it would also include residue testing for shipments at the border if they're presenting as high risk. It's just another measure of testing. Organic grain farmers at this moment in time are really struggling. Their prices are low. A lot of that they're suspecting is from grain that's coming into borders at a lower price, maybe not being held to the same standard. So enforcement has to increase because we really need them to transition to organic, and we need them to have a strong, stable market so that there's incentive for them to grow. And the demand for organic grain is so high in this country that there's definitely room for growth, but we can't let people come in who aren't following the same organic standards and undermining US farmers.
And who's enforcing?
The US Department of Agriculture would be enforcing at the border. So we're trying to create increased, and the organic certification program is a risk-based, production-based system. So we're trying to work with them, and they are taking this on. I mean, the National Organic Program is very highly focused on preventing fraud. But they don't have staff at the border, so they have to work with Customs and Border Protection. And they are really making a transition to looking at risk. And so as they're presenting as high risk, that's where they need to focus their enforcement. Because they don't have the capacity to do it for all, and they really don't need to be focusing on low risk situations. Yeah.
So you see a lot of products, agricultural products that are clearly imported, don't really need USDA certification. So it doesn't come with all sorts of things. So are these legitimate? Are they enforced? How are they enforced?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hate to like say that fraud exists, right? Because it doesn't help organic farmers who are following these really hard practices. And most of the time, when you see that USDA certified organic seal, like there is a rigorous process. There's an inspector who comes to my farm every year and looks through all my records and walks out on my fields and sees my animals. And that's happening on every certified organic farm. So it is supposed to also be happening abroad. Obviously, like the USDA is not inspecting all of the farms in other countries. We have to trust that in other countries, they are doing the same practice and they have to certify to the National Organic Program standards in the US in order to be able to sell into the US. But we need more funding. I would say the answer is we need more funding for the National Organic Program so that they can have more officers to look at international and make sure that that other certification agencies and programs from other countries are abiding by the same standards. But you should always buy local organic. If you are buying from farmers that you know that are local and organic, you can be guaranteed that they have followed a very rigorous process and that those products are very clean and healthy and good for the soil.
What is the strategy behind having all these separate bills rather than one umbrella bill that would address all of the needs for having robust organic farms?
Yeah. Well, you succeed in policy by having different organic champions, and politicians have like different things that they're interested in. And so by doing it this way, there's, different politicians that are more willing to support research, but they don't want to support the market. So like we'll have different champions up for different aspects of the bills, and for that way you have like lots of different people fighting. Because organic unfortunately can be political. And so it can be hard for a politician to support one thing when they could support the other, especially with something like organic research, because it's supporting all farmers. So that's why.
And another question I had, I know that transitioning requires a whole change in equipment, which would be a detriment to many farmers or a deterrent. So I'm curious about if any of those bills actually support startup costs.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean like a whole change in equipment, but you might need more different kinds of equipment, like maybe more cultivators for weeding if you're not spraying herbicide. Does it include? I don't think it necessarily supports equipment purchase. The government does not like to support equipment purchase, but it does allow some natural resource conservation services to buy equipment that they house and lend out. And it could support other practices that that then allow you to transfer your budget towards maybe other equipment. But there are farmers who are sharing equipment in some cases. But the
Which means they'd have to share with only organic farmers, or you'll have that cross contamination.
you can clean it. You just have to make sure it's very clean. Yep, in back.
So a month or two ago on that Good Morning America show, they're interviewing an MD, a doctor, an MD, and they're talking about organic foods. And they asked her the question, are we better off eating organic foods or non-organic? And she said, it doesn't really matter. So then that's one topic. But what they did not mention was what's good for the environment. So I think you've already said it's good for the environment. But that's just, that's a nationwide TV show, and that's the message they're portraying.
Yeah. Well, my husband is a family doctor, and I will tell you that he went to a very progressive medical school where they're looking at mind and body together, and he got no more than 7 hours of nutrition education.
Yeah.
So that is a flaw in our medical training. And it is, I will say it's very hard to compare nutritional value of two, because there's so many factors that go into what a tomato grown here and here contains nutrient and vitamin wise. A lot of it has to do with the kind of soil it's grown in, how long it was tested after it was harvested. But what is very clear is the pesticide residue. And so that is a huge health concern. And pesticide residue does attribute to cancer as one big one, if we're just gonna land on one. And so by buying organic food, you're eliminating those pesticide residues from your body, which accumulate. And when they're testing, the safety of one pesticide, they're not looking at how it presents into the food you're eating in your body, which ends up becoming a pesticide cocktail. And the factor of all those things from all the food you're eating mixing in your body can really create a big body burden. So there's plenty of research that shows that pesticide body burden in our bodies, how much we're actually carrying in our body fat, from the diet and the things that we're exposed to in the environment, how that does have a negative impact on health. So it's a very like easy thing to do when you're at the farmer's market at the store to choose organic, and you know that you're definitely reducing your pesticide load by doing that. But if you're buying locally, you're gonna have a much higher nutrient vitamin response in your food, because as soon as you can eat it after you harvest it, you're getting the best. So home gardens are great too.
We need better news on the national level to promote our organic.
Yeah, well, there's also a lot of dollars in pharmaceuticals and food. Yes, you know, we're battling all of that. But sometimes you just have to like use your common sense too. Yeah.
We recently showed a movie in our community called Biggest Little Farm. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's really cute. Yeah. I do think that farm had a lot of financing, but it's like a lovely story to watch. And yeah. But it is, you know, impressive to see how a land can transform and the amount of food you can produce on a small amount of land. It's a great example of what can be done.
What do you recommend to a young person as far as maybe the size of an organic farm that's necessary in order to be successful?
Yeah, that is such a complicated question. Because it really depends on where your farm is located, like what can your soil produce for you? How you want to live your life, like how do you define success for yourself? How many people do you want to manage? Or do you want to do it on yourself? So it's such an individual answer for what success means to you and how you want to be living your life and manage your business. That's why we need a lot of farmer mentors and a lot of technical assistance for farmers to really like navigate all of those decisions. I was just reading, Organic Farmers Association produces a digital quarterly magazine. If you subscribe, you'll just get that for free. And we have a whole issue coming out on farmer mental health and stress. And this young farmer from Georgia has a small organic farm, and she is really committed to growing healthy food for her community. And she feels so responsible to feeding them. And so she has been working to the bone to grow more and more and more, because she can't, there's such a high demand. And she realized that she wasn't big enough to hire on more staff yet, but she also was depleting herself. And so at some point you have to look at the scale and what you can do sustainably, and does she want to hire on more staff and go to that next step or not? So success and growth in size is so individual to how you define that to yourself.
What's the smallest?
Quarter acre. You can grow a lot intensively on a quarter acre. And if that's all you have and that's how you want to design your farm, and you're looking at high value markets, you can definitely support a family on a very small farm, a lot of baby vegetables where you have succession after succession after succession, and you're selling to high-end restaurants. Yeah, you can definitely, I mean, it's just like such a hard question to answer because it's individual.
It's my understanding that the fertilizer from a ruminant stomach is superior to the fertilizer from a non-ruminant stomach. So my question is twofold. One, is that true? And second, if cow manure is superior, how much better is it than?
I don't know. I have never been asked that question before, but now my interest is piqued. So I will be asking, I'm going to a farmer meeting in a few weeks and I'll ask about that.
Well, CCL, we're a citizen lobbying organization, and one of the things we work hard to develop relationships with our elected representatives. So I was wondering how you go about that with your organization. If you meet with your representatives, if you have like lobby days, or how you do your lobbying.
Yeah, so that's really like why we were founded originally. Now we've expanded to provide other farmer services as well, but we do a farmer fly-in every March. And we bring certified organic farmers from across the country, and we meet with elected officials, and they work that whole day. And we also meet with the US Department of Agriculture, the National Organic Program, because they don't always get to sit in a room with 30 organic farmers growing all sorts of things, from lentils in Montana to grapes in Florida and all the things in between. And so it's really important that those farmer voices are there. And we do a advocacy day training the day before. We have very clear talking points that the farmers have prioritized, and it's really beneficial. But the pandemic really shifted Congress to being able to do Zoom visits, and a lot of staff really prefer that. So we do a lot of lobby visits via Zoom, and it's great because we can engage all sorts of farmers in those conversations where they just can't take time off the farm to get to DC. But now they can meet with those staffers, and it's really normal to do that now. And so we do both.
It's sort of a take on question. Some of us are from Minnesota, and you're obviously already. Yeah, and you did a great job of becoming 4 bills, and then mentioned that politicians are more responsive to some of these than others. Any thoughts for us in Minnesota about particular effective arguments for bills that being published or might be responsive?
Yeah, well, Amy Klobuchar is really important because she's positioned to possibly become the Senate chair of the Agriculture Committee. And so she was on her first organic farm visit in August. She has a lot to learn, I think, about what organic farmers are doing for the environment and why that's important, and why is it important to Minnesota soils, and how it's important to Minnesota communities. Minnesota's a pretty large state as far as number of organic farms when you look at it nationally. So making those connections, inviting her to organic farms so she can see it. I have seen politicians change their entire view and commitment to organic practices after a really positive farm visit. When they see those beautiful farms and they walk the fields and they see how the animals are living, they can become real organic champions. So those like tangible experiences are really important. Also really good food really helps with those, because organic is really delicious as well.
So I'm just noticing, obviously, a number of your bills align with our goals, our climate related goals, and I'm sure we have a farm team, that means, have you worked with us directly on any bills? Because, you might want to help with some of those.
Yeah, we haven't, but we're definitely open to partnership. We are a very small and scrappy team, and so we rely on friends and partners and collaboration in order to, make a bigger impact.
CCL does have an agricultural group that meets every week, so I can connect you with them.
Yeah, we should talk.
One of my concerns about organic is that it's not affordable for people living paycheck to paycheck. So is there stuff your group is doing to kind of make organic more affordable?
Yeah, so that's a complicated question too. I don't feel like it's organic farmers' responsibility to fix our country's social problems. Organic farmers also need to make a livable wage, and that's really important. And food in this country is too cheap, but also we're not covering healthcare. We're not covering a livable wage for most people in this country. And so there's a lot of social elevation that needs to happen as well. And I don't think that it's farmers' responsibility to fix that per se. However, yes, everyone should have access to local healthy foods. And there's a lot of programs that help close the gap. So funding for, including right now, WIC doesn't allow mothers who have WIC checks to buy organic produce or organic milk. So that's ridiculous. Expanding that program to be more inclusive to allow them to buy the healthy food that they want. A lot of them want to buy it, but they can't, they're not allowed by the program. SNAP benefits are great, and helping more farmers have terminals at their farmers market stands to allow for SNAP is great for any type of like local fresh healthy food, but a lot of organic farmers are selling at farmers markets. There's programs that support that double the dollar. So if you have SNAP benefits, and you can also use a coupon to basically have like from $1, you have $2 to spend at a local farmer's market, and those programs are great. There's a lot to do, but yeah, healthy food should definitely be affordable, and people should also have a living wage and have access to all of the things that we need to be human.
Last question.
I think I already had one from you, so. Yep.
I'm in congressional district 1, there are 5 of us that are in Minnesota, and Brad Finstead is our rep. And you're giving us a lot of ideas to share with him, I appreciate that. And have you heard of Land Stewardship Project? Okay, because they're, not that far from where you are here.
Yeah, I'm a member, they're a great organization.
Yeah.
I think just forming a relationship with your elected officials is so important. So showing up when they're in town and asking questions or inviting them, setting up if they're coming and you've got either like a great natural space, or you have an organic farmer in that town and you could, invite them to do a tour while they're there. All of those connections are really important, but also just showing up and like consistently. And, if there's an issue that is important to you, call the office and share. Their job is to represent their constituents. And so they need to hear from you, and you shouldn't be shy to do that. And forming those relationships can really make a difference when something is really, shows up that's really important and you need their vote on a bill or an issue.
Sequestration is really important. I don't know how many people really know that, you need to know. It's not.
So let's give Kate a big hand.